to another Vlogtober. Well, it's Friday, I think we're on the 16th of October 2025. Well, as you can see, I'm at work. I've just got in, got everything set up, put my boards out and everything, and I'm having a nice cup of Yorkshire tea. I've got a few projects with me today. My quilt, for one thing, my bed runner. Last night I managed to get all the quilting done on the squares, and I just need to sort of finish off some ends, just tidy it up a little bit, and then I'm going to trim it down. I've got my binding, which I'll show you that later on. So I'm hoping today, while I'm here, that I can get the binding stitched on, at least it attached. I might not get it finished off, but at least I can get it attached, I hope. But I've also got my crochet here for the blanket. So I've got 3 squares done, but they just need the cream border putting on. So I'm hopefully going to do that. I don't think I'm going to sit and do all 3 squares together. I think I'm just going to do a little bit at a time, and then, you know, in between other jobs. And I've also got in front of me my felt kit. So I've got that. I managed to get the robin finished. I did that yesterday, and so now I'm on with the penguins. So I've got a piece of scrap white felt, and I'm going to get that cut out, so we'll see how far we can get. So I'll catch you a little bit later on. Hope everybody's having a lovely day today. Oh, we're zooming about a little bit here this morning. I've got different settings on my phone now. So hopefully this vlog will not have a border around it, because it seems to have been probably an update in my phone, which I didn't realise, and something to do with the editing program. So all being well, the videos might be full size this time. So I'll catch you a little bit later on. And I thought I'd just pop back on. I've been stitching away, and that's the kit I'm making. Sorry for the glare, it's the lights. And I have finished my kit. We are zooming, aren't we? I'm really pleased with it. It's took me probably a bit longer than I expected it to do. But yeah, so that is going to go up on the wall in the shop now. And I'll be starting my next one. I might not start it until November, because I've got 1 or 2 bits I want to do. Yes, so I'll talk about that a little bit later on. So now I'm going to get back on with the crochet and see if I can get the other 2 squares finished to give me my 3 for today. Sorry for the rustling. So I'll check back in with you in a little bit, and we'll see if I can get these squares done. Well, I'm back again with a little bit of an update on the crochet. I have to say, this cream yarn is getting used up pretty quickly. I think I've got 10 balls of this yarn stashed away at the ready. And I have ordered my yarn for the shop, and I've probably said that before, and I'll have to probably put another 2 balls away just in case. I don't want to run out. Anyhow, I finished my 3 squares. So my first square is this lovely blue-green sort of flecked one. Oops. And then then we've got the light green there, and then we've got one of the yellows in there. Oh, I don't know if I like this camera doing this on me. There we go. I'm not keen on this, so I don't know what it's going to be like for you watching it, but I might find it a bit annoying, I think. And then the second square is the purple here, and then we've got a nice duck egg blue there, and a lilac in the centre, which I really like that one. And then the next one, I've gone for the dark red for the flower bits there, and the pale pink fleck, and a nice brown in the centre. So this is another 3. So I'm really pleased with them. They're coming along. I'm getting a nice little pile now. So I think what I might do, maybe at the weekend when I've got a little bit more time, is I might start and get them on the blocking board. And I don't know, maybe keep them somewhere warm so they dry out a bit better. And start and block them. Then I'm hoping, I mean, for the rest of October, I'm just going to keep crocheting. I'm just going to crochet as many as I can. Some days, I mean, will not be many, others I might get more done. And then I think in November, I might start and crochet them together. And then it will give me an idea of how many I'm going to want to go across the bed. And then I can just pull that out every time I'm making some, so I can sort of try and mix the colours up a bit more, because I have got sort of favourite colours that I like, that I keep using more of, but I need to sort of mix it up a bit so they're not the same. Right, so I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make myself a cup of coffee, and I'm going to get the quilt. I keep calling it a quilt. The bed run out, and I'm going to start and put the binding on. So before I go, I will quickly show you the binding. Well, this is my binding. It's all rolled up nice and neat. It's all nicely pressed, and that's how it looks. I'm not going to unravel anymore. You'll see it when it's on the bed runner. So, right, cup of coffee first. I've had my lunch, didn't have much today. But I'm going to have a nice cup of coffee and then get the machine pulled out, which is just here, and get stitching. Mind you, first I've got to trim the bed runner down, so I'll see you in a bit. I hope the lighting is not too bad this time. I've just turned the other light around so it's not shining on my face. Right, well, I've managed to sew the binding onto the quilt, so I'm going to take it home now, and I want to press it and just trim off any extra tails, that because cotton always sort of, you've ended up bits of cotton here, there and everywhere, so I want to get all that trimmed off, and then I'm going to put some clips on the binding so it's held in place, and then I'll decide whether I'm going to hand sew it or machine stitch it. I like hand stitching, I must admit, for the binding, but having got a bit of a funny hand, it might be a little bit much. I don't know at the minute, but I've got all weekend to get it stitched. I had hoped to get this done today, or I might just zigzag the binding on to finish it off. I don't know. For me it looks a lot neater hand stitched, but for speed, obviously machine stitching it would be better. But mine never seems to come out right. You can always see the stitching where you shouldn't see it. So I'll have to decide when I get home. So I'm just having a cup of tea now. It's nearly time for closing, because I didn't make my cup of coffee like I said I was going to do. I just got straight on with the binding. I had to make a little bit more binding as well. I ran out, so I think I had to make near enough another metre. So that, oh goodness me, why was that doing that? I didn't move. Oh, I think, I don't know what's going on. I think my phone's done that many updates. Everything's sort of changed on it, and this is why some of my videos are coming out with a frame around it for some reason, and we can't sort it out. I've altered, or I should say, Jake has altered the settings on my editing program, so I've got half of it done, but this zooming in and out is driving me nuts. So I think it might be time to invest in a vlogging camera. Don't move really, because otherwise it'll be zooming again. So I'm going to have a little look around and see what I can find, but I know they're quite expensive. I know I'm going to be looking at about £600, which I don't really want to be spending at the minute. I can't really afford it, but I think to make recording better, I'm going to have to I'm going to have to invest in one. So that's another job for the weekend. But yes, I'm just having a cup of tea before I close up, roll my quilt up, and take it home. So I will be back on for a bit later on. I don't know when. I'm probably going to visit my mother-in-law today, so I don't know what time I'm going to get back. And then I've got to cook tea because we're having mince tonight and roasted butternut squash. I was going to stuff the squash, but I don't think I will. I think I'm just going to leave it. So I'm going to finish my tea off, and I will catch you all a little bit later on. So I hope everybody's having a lovely day today, and I will see you all again in a bit. And I'm back home now. I've been in for a short while. I've actually had a nice hot chocolate when I got in. I just fancied the hot chocolate today because it's quite cool out there. And I've had snuggle times with Salem. Every day he's waiting for me to come in from the shop, and he knows when I'm ready to come upstairs, and he's straight up there. He has to have a good old 10 minutes on my lap, having a good old fuss and a purr, and then he just settles down and goes to sleep. And if I was stopping in there for hours on end, I think he'd stay with me. But no, he sits on the stairs and he looks through the banister and he's waiting for me, he's watching. If he sees me make a beeline for the stairs, then he's up there, sat outside my bedroom door. But at the minute, he's back downstairs now and he's in the conservatory with Bramble and Adele. So he's happy enough for now. Right, well, I have pressed my binding and it's all clipped, ready for an evening. Oh God, the camera's at it again. Ready. Oh dear. Ready for an evening of hand stitching. So I'm looking forward to that, but I'm going to have to try and be careful, because I think it's when I'm hand sewing, you're doing that repetitive stitch and that repetitive movement, that's when I end up with problems with my thumb and my wrist. So it might take me, I don't know, today and tomorrow to sort it out. I'm not taking it to the shop with me tomorrow. This is going to stay at home. But when I get to the shop tomorrow, depending how busy I am, Saturdays can be certainly busier than Fridays, because today wasn't a very good day at all, really. Not many people were about. But I am going to, if I've got the time, sit down and plan out a cushion to go on the bed. I've got one panel spare that I cut out for this quilt, so I can do an applique pumpkin of some kind on it. I think probably keep it sort of within the, well, not within, on theme with the bed runner, but I might just do the single pumpkin, I think, and then use up all the little bits and bobs that I've got to make the sort of similar stripy bits round the edge and that. Yeah, so I'm definitely going to do that tomorrow. Might not get around to the applique. I must remember actually to take the pattern with me. That would be a good idea, wouldn't it? At least I can do that. Yeah, and then I've got all the scraps from the binding, which I'm going to try and make, I don't know, like not a placemat, a mat of some kind, maybe in a pumpkin shape, or maybe a coaster in a pumpkin shape, something like that. We'll have to see how we get on, but if I get them cut out and stitched up over the weekend, that will be something I will share with you on Monday when we're back for another vlog. But it's already got me thinking of what I want to do for Christmas. So I'd have to start in the 1st of November if I'm going to do anything. Oh dear, talk about leaving it to the last minute. Because I was thinking of just buying, I've seen a nice Christmassy bedspread that I'd like. And it's like a patchwork effect, and it's sort of reds and creams and greys, and I really like that one. So I might buy that, and I might then do a runner to go with that. I'm just not sure sort of what kind of runner, because actually I've got to think about all this. I've got ideas, I just need to think about it. I mean, that's one option. But then I did think, while I was ironing, I'm thinking this day, I did think of maybe doing, but then I was thinking about doing a crochet blanket all in Christmas colours, but then I'm thinking, well, I won't get that done this year, so that'll be something else for next year. So I did think maybe to actually make a quilt for the top of the bed this year, keep it simple, do the squares again, have the sash in, but do quilt as you go, and maybe have Dresden plates, and in alternative squares have some Christmas shape applique. So I'm gonna have to draw again. And this might be a bit challenging. I might not actually be able to draw designs for Christmas, but I don't know. We'll see. So that's another idea. And then I could crochet a bed runner, which wouldn't take up as much time, but then it would mean I'd have to put the autumn one obviously on hold to see if I can get the Christmas one done. So I don't know. There'll be a lot to do. So like I said, I'm not sure, but I will try and do something Christmassy, definitely, for the bed, I think. I should have thought about all this earlier on in the year, really, shouldn't I? Talk about leaving it to the last minute. I don't know. But I'm going to have plenty to think about over the weekend, and hopefully when I come back on Monday, I'll have some concrete plans. So I think I'm going to leave this vlog here for today. I hope you've enjoyed spending the day with me, and I hope you have a lovely weekend, whatever you're doing. Are you crafting this weekend, or are you off out and about? Just leave me a message down below and tell me what you're up to. It'd be nice to know. And yeah, I will see you all again on Monday. Like I said, have a lovely weekend, and take care everyone, and happy crafting, and bye for now.